I think it was 3.5 years ago when I finally stopped fixing myself. My daughter at the time was 4 years old, and one day I was sitting in my car, waiting in the car line to pick her up from preschool. I saw people passing by, but this particular woman attracted my attention. She was pushing a stroller up a hilly street, and she seemed to be struggling. She looked very tired and looked not very happy. I don't know what took over me at that moment, but I felt like I was that woman. It was like I was looking at myself in a movie. And at that moment, I realized that life was passing by me, and I hadn't realized that. I hadn't been truly living for some time. And that sense stayed with me. So I looked more closely at my life, and I realized that I had been so busy fixing myself that I hadn't been truly living. Since like 13 years before that day, yeah, I think it was 13 years before that day, first time I heard the term self-improvement. Since then, I had done a lot, inner child work, Reiki, shadow work, psychology of vision, and along the way, I got some certificates. But it seemed to me that I was always one step away from the perfect version of myself. I was always becoming who I wanted to be, but never became that perfect self. There was always another limiting belief or another destructive behavior to change and to fix. And if you have been in the same boat, you know what I mean. And if you have friends that are doing the same work, same inner work, you may even start judging each other according to those practices. Like someone told me, "Oh, I didn't know you still drink caffeinated drinks." I'm like, I enjoy it. Or someone else told me, "I didn't know you become so happy looking at a flower." I'm enjoying it. Why not? So my life had become a series of practices that I wasn't even enjoying. So that day, after that day, I made a decision. I stopped all those practices, and I said, from now on, I want to truly live my life and enjoy my life. It was like the scene in the movie Soul, when the guy was given another chance to live, and then they ask him, "What are you going to do with your life this time?" And he says, "I don't know. I know that I'm going to enjoy every moment of it." I felt the same way. I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life, but I knew that I was full of this urge to truly live, to truly enjoy my life, to live a full life. But me being a deep thinker, I couldn't help but wonder, why did I go through those processes in the first place? Why they didn't make me happier? And why now that I've stopped all those processes, I feel happier? And I didn't have the answer for a while. During that time, I sometimes fell back into fixing myself, but that awareness was still with me. I could still remember that image of that woman pushing the stroller. So I returned to myself as soon as I could. But one day, when I was calm, sipping my tea in a beautiful, cozy cafe in my neighborhood, the answer came to me. I realized that I had done all that inner work to prove my worthiness, to prove I am good enough. Because that pain of unworthiness, not being approved, not being good enough was just too much to bear. So, sometime in my life, I had decided that I need to prove I'm worthy. I need to prove I'm good enough. So then I will be happy again. So I went through all those processes, and I, through that, those time, I became kind of like addicted to those practices and those processes. And I created that kind of fixer identity. an identity that wanted to fix everything in my life and in me. And I did all of that to quiet that noise within me that was constantly nagging at me and pushing me to be better, to do better. I don't know about you, but going through all that processes had made me feel exhausted, unmotivated, and sick of being stuck in the same loop. Now it has been 3.5 years, and I have honestly been living a much happier life. I don't fall into that trap of fixing myself as much as before. And I know that the more I stay present and connected to life itself, the more I live a more joyful life, the more I return to myself and to my sense of worthiness. Then all the changes that I want happen as the natural result of that presence and my sense of worthiness. Like now, I don't try to be confident, and I am more confident. Now I don't have to watch like 100 motivational videos to be motivated. I feel more grounded, and I even feel more disciplined without forcing myself to be disciplined. Of course, all these qualities are kind of relative, and there's always room for improvement, but your worthiness is always there. It just needs to be remembered or rediscovered. You see, your worthiness is like foundation of a building. If you are the building, the rest, everything else, is built on that foundation. um, sure, you may change the windows just to block the noise, or to protect yourself from the harsh weather, or to have a better view, but the foundation is already there. You are already worthy. And the more you know that, the happier you feel. So you can tell that you are moving in the right direction when you start to find a sense of peace and joy within yourself. So I think if we want to be fair, self improvement has its own place when it comes from wanting to have a better life experience. When you look at it as like a skill that you are learning, not something that defines you, not from a place of trying to prove your worth or prove that you are good enough, but from wanting to learn better ways of navigating this life experience. So, this was my story of fixing myself and self improvement journey. Your experience might have been different. So, don't take only my word for it. Just see what has been working in your life and what hasn't. And you can come and share your experience here. That would help everybody. Thank you for watching. Bye.